Have you ever felt the weight of something you cannot name, a burden pressing so deeply it settles into your chest, and no matter how much you try, it refuses to let go? It chokes your dreams. The visions God planted in your heart stumble under its weight. It clouds your prayers. Every word you speak feels heavy, as if the heavens cannot hear you. And worst of all, it keeps your blessings waiting, not because God is late, not because heaven is distant, but because your hands, your heart, refuse to release what must be let go. What if I told you that the very thing you clutch so tightly is the very thing keeping heaven's favor from reaching you? The pain you refuse to surrender, the grief you replay over and over, the anger, the regret, the sorrow. These chains are invisible, but they are real. Imagine walking beside the Son of God, feeling the warmth of His presence, the fire of His words, the power of miracles unfolding before your eyes, and still missing His hand, missing His blessing, because your heart is full of yesterday's pain. Your eyes have seen miracles, your hands have known prayer, your lips have called His name in desperation, and yet something unseen blocks what should already be yours. This is the story of a man, a follower of Christ, whose name is almost lost to history. Cleopas. He walked with Jesus. He heard the words that could shake the earth. He witnessed miracles that stopped hearts, water turning to wine, the blind seeing for the first time, the sick made whole, even death itself bowing in submission. But even he carried something too heavy to bear. Something in his past, something in his fear, kept him from seeing the resurrection, kept him from understanding that God's blessing waits, not for the perfect, not for the fearless, but for hearts that release, hearts that let go, hearts that trust in God's timing. Cleopas walked the road to Emmaus, with confusion in his steps, sorrow in his eyes, and questions that burned inside. Why did this happen? Could this truly be the end? Have we lost him forever? Every step felt heavy, every memory pressed against his chest. The joy of following Christ, the miracles he had seen, all tangled with grief, doubt, and fear, and the weight of it nearly crushed him. Yet, even in that darkness, God was present. Even in the confusion, He was guiding. Even in the sorrow, He was preparing a revelation, a breakthrough, a light piercing the shadow. You are so precious for being here right now. The fact that you clicked and chose to watch this shows your hunger for God's truth, and heaven does not ignore that. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not just knowledge, but life for your soul. Please subscribe, like, and share this message so that others just as precious as you may also find this light. Cleopas did not yet understand, but God's plan was unfolding, and the blessing, the freedom, the revelation was closer than he could imagine. This is not just history. This is not just a story. It is a lesson, a call to your heart, a reminder that whatever you carry, whatever binds you, whatever weighs you down, God is saying today, release it, because He is here. He is walking with you. He is waiting to open your eyes and break every chain. The journey of unseen burden. Cleopas walks the road. The sun is sinking below the hills. Shadows stretch long across the path. His friend beside him, gone. His teacher, silenced. The miracles, the hope, all felt like ashes in his hands. His dreams lie shattered. The visions he once held now seem distant, broken, unreachable. Every step echoes with a question that refuses to leave. Why did this happen? Why did he die? Why must sorrow follow so closely, even when faith should be enough? The wind brushes against his face. The sky burns red with the dying light of day. He hears the distant cries of the city. but it does not reach him. His ears are deaf, not to sound, but to hope. He does not see the angels yet. He does not hear the promises yet. His heart is heavy, weighted with grief, burdened with doubt, and the weight grows with every memory, every echo of a miracle, every whispered word of prophecy. He remembers the lame walking, the blind seeing, the lepers made whole, and yet now the world feels empty. Even the God who moved mountains seems distant, silent. The road stretches before him, long, endless, and he walks it with a heaviness he cannot shake. With each step, the past presses in, the faces of those who doubted, betrayed, and feared, the memories of Jerusalem's chaos, the questions that will not be silenced. Why? 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 Yet, even in this darkness, Jesus is closer than he knows. Luke 24:13-16 whispers truth. Now behold, two of them were going that same day to a village called Emmaus, and their eyes were restrained so that they did not know him. A presence walks beside him, not yet revealed, a quiet shadow, almost imperceptible, but felt by the soul. He cannot see it. He cannot understand it. But God's hand is there. Cleopas is carrying the past, the fear, the sorrow, the guilt, the doubt, and it blinds him from the miracle waiting ahead, blinds him from seeing the risen Christ, blinds him from knowing that what he carries does not belong to him to bear. He tries to speak. His words come out heavy, strained. He speaks of hope, but the hope is buried beneath layers of grief. His steps falter. The horizon seems further away, and the road, it never ends. Each moment stretches longer. Each shadow grows darker, and still the quiet presence walks with him, not forcing, not demanding, simply waiting patiently for the moment when Cleopas's eyes can finally see, when his heart can finally release, when the burden can fall away. Because even in the valley of despair, even in the long walk of grief, God's promises are alive, even when the mind cannot grasp it, even when the heart doubts it, even when the eyes are restrained, the miracle waits. Cleopas does not yet know it, but the journey, the struggle, the unseen burden will lead him to a revelation that will change everything, a revelation that will show him that faith is not about what you see, but what you trust, even when all seems lost. And so he walks, step by heavy step, carrying the weight, not knowing that freedom, redemption, and life itself are walking right beside him. The moment of revelation, he talks, he complains, he questions, with trembling lips, with a voice heavy as the sorrow he carries. Why, Lord? Why did this happen? We believed, we followed, we hoped, and now his words trail off. The silence of the road presses in. His heart beats with doubt. His soul trembles with grief. The shadow of despair walks beside him, as real as the setting sun. And suddenly, the impossible happens. Jesus walks with him. He does not announce himself. He does not shine with miracles. He does not demand recognition. He simply walks, a presence so gentle, yet so profound. It stirs the soul in ways words cannot describe. He listens. He watches. He asks questions that pierce the soul. Questions that feel like arrows, directed at the hidden fears, the buried doubts, the pain Cleopas thought no one could see. And then he speaks, not in thunder, not in fire, but in words that ignite hope, words that stir a memory of faith, words that whisper, there is purpose in suffering, there is meaning in the mystery, there is light in the shadows. Cleopas's eyes are heavy, heavy with grief, heavy with disbelief, but his ears begin to hear a a melody of truth buried within the prophets, a symphony of hope within every story told before his time. The purpose of all that has happened begins to surface. Luke 24:25-7 flows like fire through his heart. O foolish ones, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Was it not necessary that the Christ should suffer these things and enter into his glory? The words burn into his soul, each syllable a spark, each verse a torch lighting the dark corners of his mind. The burden begins to loosen, the chains begin to rattle. The sorrow that weighed him down begins to fade. As understanding rises like the sun over the horizon, he begins to remember the miracles, the healing, the words of prophecy, the promises of God hidden in plain sight, and the events of the past days, the death, the seeming defeat, start to make sense. Something shifts inside him, a tremor at first, then a flood, a revelation he cannot ignore, a truth he cannot unsee. The man who walked in darkness now begins to see the faint glimmer of light. The hope he thought was gone returns. The faith he thought broken rebuilds itself, brick by brick, word by word. Every step becomes lighter, every breath deeper, every thought clearer. If the road is still long, the questions remain. The grief is not gone, but the burden, the crushing weight, is beginning to lift. And in that moment, Cleopas senses a presence even more real than before. A hand unseen, guiding, a voice unspoken, shaping destiny. A God who is never absent. Even when the heart cannot feel him, he does not yet see the risen Lord, but his soul knows. Something has changed. Something has shifted. The unseen has become undeniable. And the revelation, the promise, the miracle, is closer than he ever imagined. Because God is always near, even when we stumble, even when we fail, even when despair seems eternal. The moment of revelation is not always a flash. Sometimes it is a slow awakening, a gentle stir in the heart, a whisper that grows louder with each step until the soul cannot ignore it. And for Cleopas, that awakening has begun. The breaking of the bondage. They reach the home. The door creaks open. A quiet room waits. The air is heavy with expectation, though they do not yet know it. The journey has been long, the road endless, every step weighed with grief, every heartbeat echoing doubt. And now the moment arrives. The bread is placed on the table, simple, plain, yet holding a power beyond comprehension. Jesus takes it. His hands steady, deliberate. He blesses it, and then he breaks it. And in that moment, everything changes. Cleopas' heart, so long heavy with sorrow, explodes with recognition. The burden he carried, the past that haunted him, the fear that shadowed every step, the doubt that clouded every prayer, the sorrow that gripped his soul, vanishes. Luke 24:30-31 whispers like fire in his heart. When he had reclined at the table with them, he took the bread and blessed it, and breaking it, he gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. The chains that were invisible, the ones that held him captive for days, weeks, years, shatter. The weight that pressed him down lifts. The darkness that clouded his vision disperses. The revelation is not just intellectual. It is not just understanding. It is a fire that burns through the heart, a light that illuminates every shadow, a resurrection of hope inside the soul. He sees him, not as a memory, not as a ghost of what once was, but as the risen Lord, the living Christ, the one who conquered death, the one who promises life, even to those who walk in despair. The blessings unlocked, the promises reaffirmed, the miracle undeniable. Everything that once seemed lost now belongs to him in fullness. He stands. His knees were weak, but now his spine straightens. He runs, not in fear, but in joy, not in confusion, but in purpose. He proclaims the truth, loud, unashamed, unstoppable. He tells of the journey, of the sorrow, of the doubt, of the road that seemed endless, and of the moment when it all fell away, the moment when the invisible became visible. And in that proclamation, he invites others to see, to believe, to release what binds them, to experience what he has just felt. Cleopas has walked with Jesus. He has seen the miracles. He has heard the words. And now he knows. The resurrection is real. God's promises are real. Freedom is real. The sorrow is not erased. The struggle is not forgotten. But they are transformed into understanding, into faith, into the revelation of divine love. The invisible chains are broken, the blessings flowing, the revelation eternal. And as he speaks, the room seems brighter, the air seems lighter, the heart wider, hope palpable, joy undeniable. And in this simple act, breaking bread, blessing it, Cleopas learns the ultimate truth. What we carry can either blind us or, when surrendered, can become the path to seeing God clearly. He runs to tell the others, to share the revelation, to proclaim that the risen Christ is alive, that the burdens we hold are not meant to be carried alone, and that the blessing, the true, eternal blessing, is always waiting for the heart that releases. The message carried for you. Cleopas returns, not as a man broken, not as one burdened by grief or fear, but as a man released, freed from the chains that once held him, light in his step, fire in his heart. Every breath he takes carries hope. Every word he speaks carries life. The sorrow he bore, the doubts that shadowed him, the questions that haunted his every step, they are gone, vanished in the presence of the risen Christ. He tells the others, the world still lost in confusion and pain, still chasing shadows, still clinging to burdens that were never theirs to bear. He speaks with urgency, with authority, with love, and yet he knows the world is not yet ready. Many will hear, but few will truly see. Few will understand the depth of what has been revealed. Few will grasp the simplicity and the power of releasing what God never intended for them to carry. But you are listening now, and your heart is ready. Your spirit is open. Do not carry what God never intended for you to hold. Do not cling to pain. Do not hold grudges. Do not nurture anger. Do not replay the mistakes of yesterday, or the betrayals of others, or the disappointments that steal your joy. Every chain you clutch, every sorrow you carry, every memory you refuse to release, blocks the blessings God has prepared for you. He wants your heart unburdened, your soul open, your spirit free. Matthew 11:28 calls to you, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Rest is not a distant promise. Rest is not earned through struggle. Rest is given. Rest is received when you surrender, when you release, when you let go of the weight that is not yours to bear. God's blessing comes, not through striving, not through clinging, not through carrying the weight of the past. It comes when you release, when you trust, when you surrender your heart fully into His hands. Cleopas understood this, and so must you. The road may be long, the sorrow may be real, the pain may feel permanent, but freedom is closer than you think. Blessing is nearer than you imagine. He runs to share the truth, to speak life into those who are weary, to show the path from despair to hope, from burden to release, from darkness to light. The message is simple, yet profound. Release what binds you. Give God what you cannot carry. Trust in His timing. Trust in His plan, and watch as the impossible becomes reality. Cleopas carried this message in his heart, and now it carries you. The chains that held him, the doubt that clouded him, the sorrow that crushed him, have become a testimony, a living proof that God's love is greater than our fear, God's power stronger than our pain, and God's blessings, waiting for hearts that let go, are eternal. Pause, reflect, breathe. The weight you carry today does not belong to you. Give it to Him, and receive the blessing waiting for your surrendered heart. God's grace is not distant. His mercy is not delayed. His love is not conditional. The road of release is before you. Take the step. Trust the process. Let go and let God move. Reflection: your past is not your prison. It does not define you. It cannot hold you unless you allow it. Your sorrow is not your sentence. It is not the measure of your worth. It is not the end of your story. Your doubt is not your destiny. Even when the night seems endless, even when hope feels distant, even when faith falters, God is near. The same Jesus who walked with Cleopas, the same Savior who revealed the resurrection, walks with you, not in shadows, not in whispers, but in presence, in power, in love that never fails. Release what you've been holding, the pain, the fear, the regrets, the anger. Let God take them. Let Him lift the weight that presses your heart. Allow Him to break the chains, the invisible chains, the ones you cannot remove alone. Let His hands restore freedom. Let His Spirit bring peace. And watch as the blessing, the promise, the joy that has been waiting, flows into your life. Psalm 37:4 reminds you, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart." Pause. Breathe. Feel His presence surround you. Let it sink into your soul. You were never meant to walk alone. You were never meant to carry this burden by yourself. Do not suffer in silence. Do not allow the weight of yesterday to steal today's joy. The chains fall when you surrender. The blessings come when you trust. The life you long for, the peace you crave, the joy you deserve, all begin the moment you let go. You have a choice. Release, trust, receive. And as you step forward, know this: another soul, just like you, is waiting for freedom, waiting for hope, waiting to see God move. Please subscribe, like, share, so that the light you have received may reach others, so that the chains that once bound you may break for someone else. May every heart listening find release. May every soul longing for God's touch find Him today. May life, hope, and heaven be revealed to those ready to receive it.